Bonjour and welcome back to the next session of your French lesson. We have progressed to the fourth lesson, and in this lesson I will be teaching you partitive article, demonstrative adjective, and verbs which end in IR can be regular as well as irregular. Okay? So in the first three chapters we came across a definite article, you came across indefinite article and contracting article. We are moving on to the fourth article that you have to learn, and that is les articles partitifs. So in French language, so far you have understood, we have a kind of division always. So you have masculine singular, you have a form, feminine singular, you have another form, and the plural, you have a different form altogether. So if your noun is masculine singular, we make use of du. Okay? So partitive article refers to any element of quantity. So il mange du poulet means he is eating some chicken. Okay? So if your noun is feminine singular, it becomes del. So we have an example, tu prends de la salade. Okay? Prendre comes from the verb prendre, which you will learn a little later, means to take. So you are taking some salad. Next one, we have de and l apostrophe. If our noun is masculine singular or feminine singular, if it begins with a vowel or the letter H, we have to make use of del apostrophe. So you get je bois de l'eau, I drink some water. Then you have the masculine and feminine plural form, that is des. Nous achetons des fruits, we buy some fruits. Okay? So partitive article refers to quantity, meaning some. Masculine singular form you have du, feminine singular becomes del. Masculine singular and feminine singular, if the noun begins with a vowel, it becomes del apostrophe, and if it's plural, it becomes des. Now all these articles in the positive form remains like that, but when the sentence is negative, you want to say, I don't eat any food or I don't drink any water. In that situation, all these partitive articles changes into de. Okay? So du, del, del apostrophe, des, everything changes into de. Let's look for a sentence there. Je ne bois pas de thé. I don't drink any tea. Okay, so sentence is negative. Remember, to make a sentence negative, you write ne before the verb and pas after the verb. And when the sentence is negative, all these articles changes into de. We have another sentence. Il n'y a pas de pomme. There isn't any apple. All you have to remember is sentence is negative, partitive articles changes into de. Let's go ahead and do one exercise based on partitive article. Okay, the first exercise, compléter avec les articles partitifs. So you have elle offre pain et beurre. So P-A-I-N, pain is bread, it is masculine singular, and even beurre, though it ends in a, it's masculine singular. So we fill both the blank spaces with du. Elle offre du pain et du beurre. Next sentence, je bois café. Café is masculine, so you go for du. Je bois du café. Mais je ne bois pas. So the sentence is negative and it changes into de. So your answer becomes mais je ne bois pas de thé. Il demande question. Question is plural, so automatically you know your answer is des. So il demande des questions. Second part of the sentence is negative. Et ne prenne pas note. Sentence is negative, your answer is de. So il demande des questions et ne prenne pas de note. Vous avez marmelade. That's feminine. So you get del. Vous avez de la marmelade. Et fromage is a word that ends in e, but it is masculine. So du fromage. Next sentence. Il mange. Riz is rice. It is masculine. So you get du riz. Il mange du riz avec du curry de poulet. Okay, so curry de poulet is again masculine, so you get du. So I hope you are able to understand. Masculine singular, it depends on the noun. If it's masculine singular, it's du. Feminine singular, it becomes del. If it is plural, des. If it begins with a vowel or the letter H, it becomes del apostrophe. If the sentence is negative, everything changes into DE. We have les expressions de quantité. Okay, in this lesson, some more expressions of quantity. So let's just go through quickly. Quantité indéterminée means like you do not know the exact amount. Okay, it's indeterminate. We do not know. So we have few sentences here, few expressions. Let's see. Trop de is too many, so we can go for a sentence. J'ai trop de travail. I have too much of work. Okay, too many or too much, both are correct. Assez de is enough of, so you go il a assez d'argent. He has enough of money. Beaucoup de is a lot of, could also mean lots of, so you can go for tu as beaucoup de stylos. You have lots of pens. Okay, so as we are progressing, I am sure you are able to construct more sentences and speak better in French. The next one is tant de, could be so many or so much. It's almost similar to trop de. So elle a tant de livres. She has so many books. Peu de is little of. So okay, nous avons peu de temps. We have little time. Plus de is more of. We go for a sentence. Ils donnent plus de réponses. They give more answers. Plein de is full of. So say plein de voyageurs. It's full of travelers. Moins de is less. So vous buvez moins de l'eau. You drink less water. Let's move on to quantité précise. Okay, a precise quantity. Just now we were going through a quantity which we could not know the exact amount, but here in this section you are going to do quantité précise. Okay, une bouteille de, a bottle of, and litre de, a liter of, and kilo de is a kilo of, une carafe de, a jug of, une rangée de, a row of, une tranche de, a slice of, une cuillère de is a spoonful of, and sachet de is a bag or a packet of. Let's go ahead and do another exercise making use of these expressions of quantity that we have learned. Okay, so let's have a look at the exercise. Refaites les phrases en se servant des expressions données. Okay, so we are going to rewrite the entire sentence making use of the given expressions. So we have a sentence with a partitive article, and within bracket we are going to give you an expression of quantity. So you are going to replace the partitive article with the expression of quantity. So let's have a look. Il boit de l'eau. So what is the partitive article in this sentence? Okay, remember we learned just now. So it is del apostrophe. So we're going to replace that with trop, and we're going to add a de. Okay, so the sentence becomes il boit trop d'eau, and de automatically becomes d apostrophe because the next word begins with a vowel. So il boit trop d'eau means he drinks too much of water. Elle apporte des cadeaux. So I hope you're identifying the partitive article. So it's des. We're going to replace that with the expression of quantity given within bracket, that is assez, and then we add a de. So elle apporte assez de cadeaux. Next one, elles achètent du poisson frit. Okay, they buy some fried fish, and the expression of quantity we have to use is beaucoup. So here let's identify the partitive article. It's du. So we go, elles achètent beaucoup de poisson frit. So instead of the partitive article, we are writing the expression of quantity given within brackets and a de. So having learned expressions of quantity, now we move on to another topic, that is on time. Okay, so we're going to learn how to say what the time is, and you can ask somebody what is the time. So the word for time is l'heure. So the word ends in e, and it gives us a clue that it is feminine. Okay, so let us look at some of the time, and so that you can construct sentences. So the first one is 1 o'clock. So how do you say that? Il est une heure. Okay, so for 1 you have learned it as un, but here the time is feminine, The word is feminine, so we go for une. Il est une heure. Okay? Go for il est 3 heures if it's 3 o'clock. So if it is 4:10, we go for il est 4h10. Okay? So any the number that comes after that time, like 4, 5, 4, 10, all you have to do is tell the time and then just the number. So il est 4h10. Okay? We go for 5:25. Il est 5h25. You could go for 6:15. Il est 6h15. Okay? You could go for il est 6h15 as well as we could go for this expression il est 6h15. It is 6:15. We go for 8:30. Il est 8h30. It is 8 o'clock or 8 hours 30 minutes. We have another word for 30 that is like half. It is 8:30. So it is il est 8h30. Okay, so for 30 we could even go for demi. 10:45 we could say il est 10h45. Okay, it is 10:45. We could even go for another option, il est 11h moins le quart. Moins you already learned is less, so less the quarter. Okay, like you say 15 quarter to 11, so it is il est 11h moins le quart. Go for 9:50, il est 10h moins 10. You could either go for il est 9h, it's 9 o'clock, 50. For the exact word 50, you could even go for it is 10 to 10. So this is how we say il est 10h moins 10. We continue at 12 noon. You go for, you could say il est 12h, that's correct, but you're sure it's noon. So you could go for il est midi. Okay? Whereas if it's 12 in the night, you go for il est minuit. You could even go for il est 0h. Okay? So 12:10 is il est midi 10 or il est minuit 10. 12:15 could be il est midi et quart. Okay? 12:15. It could even be if it's midnight, like you could say il est minuit et quart. 12:30 becomes il est midi et demi. We already learned demi, right? Demi is half, so il est minuit et demi. You want to say half an hour, it becomes une demi-heure. Okay? Now we need to understand the French people use the 24-hour clock. So 6 p.m. is 18 hours. So if you get 18 hours to be translated, you could go for il est 18 heures. Okay? You can write il est 6 heures in the way we understand, but French people could go for il est 18 heures. Okay? If it is 18:05, you go for il est 18h05. So remember, they use the 24-hour clock, so you could go ahead with the other numbers. So we go for an exercise where you have to write the time. Okay? Écrivez l'heure en lettres. You have to write the time in letters. So let's go. So you have 14:45. So as I mentioned to you, you could go for il est 14h45. 14:45. You could even go for il est 2h45. 2:45. So you have 0 and 15. So you go for il est 0h15. Yeah. 22:30 could be il est 10h30, or you could even go for il est 22h30. Go exactly for that number. So 11:55 could be il est 11h55, or it could even be il est 12h-5, like 5 to 12. So the next one we have 1 o'clock. We already did it when we did the lesson part. Il est une heure. 6:30 would be il est 6h30. Again, 18 hours we have. You could go for il est 6 heures or il est 18 heures. 7:45 would be il est 7h45. Or you could even go for il est 8h moins le quart. 9:55, il est 9h55. Or you could go for il est 10h-5. Let's go ahead and learn a few expressions with regard to time. Okay, so you already learned the word être in the first lesson, meaning to be. So être en avance. From the word avance, I think you can make a guess, to be early. Okay, same thing you could have être à l'heure, means to be on time. Être en retard means to be late. Okay, so using these expressions, let's see some sentences. La classe commence à 10 heures. The class begins at 10 o'clock. Le professeur arrive à 9h30. So the teacher is coming at 9:30. So we can say, il est en avance. The teacher is early. He is early. L'étudiant arrive à 10h. Il est à l'heure. So the student comes at sharp 10 and it becomes he is on time. Sophie arrive à 11h. Sophie is coming at 11 o'clock. She's already late. So you say, elle est en retard. She is late. If you have a reason like you missed the bus, somebody is asking you, pourquoi êtes-vous en retard? Why are you late? And we go for the answer, parce que j'ai raté le bus. So with these three expressions, I'm sure you're able to construct more sentences. Please see that we make use of these expressions as you try to speak in French. We have another major topic in this lesson, that is we're going to learn another verb which has the ending in IR, and these are regular verbs. Well, I'm sure in the first lesson you learned in detail how to conjugate a verb that ends in ER. Okay, now let's just recall what were the endings of a verb that ends in ER. So for je, it is E, then you get ES, E, ONS, EEZ and ENT. Now we have a verb that ends in IR and the endings goes like this. For je, it becomes IS. And of course, je and tu, it's almost similar. So tu also you get IS. Then you have il and elle, it's IT. Nu is ISSONS. Vous is ISSEZ. Il or elle, it becomes ISSENT. Okay. So how do we conjugate? You delete the IR and then we add these endings. So we have a very simple verb introduced to you, and that is finir, meaning to finish. Okay, so like somewhere similarity in English. So this is how we pronounce it. Je finis, tu finis, il finit, elle finit, almost same pronunciation everywhere. Nous finissons, vous finissez, ils finissent and elles finissent. Okay, so we have learned a verb that ends in IR, a regular IR group verb. If you find any verb, in order to conjugate it, you delete the IR and you add the corresponding endings IS, ISIT, ISSONS, ISSEEZ and ISSENT. In this lesson, you come across a few irregular IR verbs which do not follow the rule which I mentioned to you just now. So the first verb introduced to you is ouvrir. Let's have a look at the verb and try to understand that this verb takes the ER endings. Okay, so it ends in IR but it takes the ER ending. So you delete the IR and you go for EESE, ONSEZ, ENT. Ouvrir means to open. Okay, and you know JE becomes J apostrophe when it is followed by a verb that begins with a vowel. So it goes j'ouvre, tu ouvres, il ouvre, elle ouvre, nous ouvrons, we pronounce the S there, vous ouvrez, ils ouvrent, elles ouvrent. Okay, so you'll find a few verbs like this which end in IR but takes the ER endings. You could go for couvrir. Okay, COUVRIR would be to cover. Découvrir is to discover. Souffrir is to suffer. So these are verbs which end in IR but takes ER endings. That's the little irregularity it has. We have the next three words. Let's try to understand it together. You have partir meaning to leave, dormir is to sleep, and courir is to run. So if we focus on the last three letters like TIR, MIR, RIR, you just have a look at how the verb is conjugated. It goes like SST and then it's ONSEZENT, the same as ER group. Okay, so what should you remember? The TIR or MIR, the RIR is deleted and you add SST. The second part, when you start conjugating with nu, we hold on to the T or the M and the R, only the IR is deleted and we go for the ER endings. It's easy. Je pars, tu pars, il part, elle part, nous partons, vous partez, ils partent and elles partent. You want to say, I leave at 8 o'clock to the school. So how do you say that? Je pars à, we learn the time, à 8 heures à l'école, to the school. You have dormir. I'm sure you're interested to learn how to pronounce this verb. So it goes like this: Je dors, tu dors, il dort, elle dort, nous dormons, vous dormez, ils dorment, and elles dorment. So you want to tell somebody, I sleep at 10 o'clock. So how do you say that? Je dors à 10 heures, 22 heures for the French people. That's fine for them. We move on to the next verb. Courir means to run. So this is how you pronounce it. Je cours, tu cours, il ou elle court, nous courons, vous courez, il court, and elle court. Having learned so much, I think we are in a position to move to the dialogue of the lesson. So you're going to listen to the dialogue of the lesson, which is prepared by Alice, who is teaching at Sacred Heart School, Ernakulam. So Alice is going to help you to read the dialogue. She'll give you the translation and the question and answers, after which we will do the rest of it in the next class.
À la maison. Dialogue at Henry's house with his parents. Henri, son père et sa mère. Henri revient tard chez lui. Henri, tu es en retard. Il est déjà 7 heures. Nous attendons depuis 1 heure. Nous voulons aller à la boutique. Qu'est-ce que vous allez acheter? Surtout des vêtements, une chemise et pantalon noir et une cravate pour papa et une robe pour moi. Des chaussettes pour moi. Papa veut dîner au restaurant? Oui, toi aussi, tu peux venir avec nous. Merci papa. Est-ce que je peux inviter Paul et Roland aussi? Bien sûr. At home. Henry, his father and his mother. Henry returns home late. His father questions him. Henry, you're late. It is already 7 o'clock. We are waiting since 1 hour. We want to go to the boutique. What are you going to buy? Especially clothes. A shirt, a black pant and a tie for Papa and a gown for myself. Socks for me. Papa, are you having dinner in the restaurant? Yes, you two can come with us. Thank you, Papa. Can I invite Paul and Roland too? Of course. Now the questions. Les parents, où vont-ils? Where are the parents going? Ils vont à la boutique. Qu'est-ce qu'ils vont acheter? What are they going to buy? Ils vont acheter des vêtements, clothes. Henri, qui va-t-il inviter pour le dîner? Henry, whom is he going to invite for dinner? Il va inviter Paul et Roland pour le dîner. Henri, à quelle heure revient-il? What time does he come back? Il revient à 7 heures. Au restaurant McDo. Bonjour monsieur. Bonjour. Qu'est-ce que vous prenez? Moi, je veux une pizza et un café. Moi, je prends un sandwich. Pour moi, des frites et un coca. Je n'aime pas les frites. Quel sandwich vous avez? Du jambon et du fromage. Fromage, s'il vous plaît. Et une bouteille d'eau minérale. Tout à l'heure, monsieur. At McDonald's. The waiter wishes bonjour, monsieur, to Henry, Paul, and Roland, and asks, qu'est-ce que vous prenez? What do you want? Henry says, je veux une pizza et un café. I want a pizza and a coffee. Paul says, je prends un sandwich. I shall take a sandwich. And Roland, des frites et un coca. French fries and coke. Paul says, je n'aime pas les frites. I don't like French fries. Which sandwiches do you have? And the waiter replies, du jambon et du fromage. Ham and cheese. Paul chooses fromage, s'il vous plaît, cheese please, and a bottle of mineral water. The waiter replies, in a while, sir, and leaves. Répondez aux questions. Où sont les 3 amis? Where are the 3 friends? Les 3 amis sont au restaurant McDo. Henri, que préfère-t-il? What does Henry prefer? Il préfère un pizza et un café. Roland, que boit-il? What does Roland drink? Il boit un coca. Quel sandwich Paul choisit-il? Which sandwich does Paul choose? Paul choisit un sandwich du fromage. Nommez un restaurant où vous allez souvent. Name a restaurant where you often go. Je vais souvent au restaurant Chicken, KFC, Domino's, anywhere you go, you can say.
We are ending the class. We will come back again with the next lesson.